In the heart of the dense, whispering forests of Eldridge Hollow, there stood an old, decaying mansion, long abandoned and forgotten by time. The locals, wary and superstitious, dared not speak its name. They merely whispered of the spirits that wandered its halls, restless and seeking. The mansion loomed like a sinister specter against the backdrop of towering trees, its once grand facade now crumbling and consumed by creeping ivy. One autumn evening, as the sun cast its final blood-red glow across the horizon, a young woman named Emily ventured into the depths of Eldridge Hollow. Armed with only a flashlight and a curious mind, she sought to uncover the truth behind the chilling legends surrounding the mansion. Skeptics at heart, Emily was drawn to the unexplained, finding comfort in logic and reason, but something about the stories of this place intrigued her beyond measure. As she approached the mansion, the air grew colder, and the forest fell eerily silent, as if holding its breath. The grand entrance, once welcoming, now stood as a yawning void, the door barely hanging from its rusted hinges. With a deep breath, Emily stepped inside, her footsteps echoing through the vast, empty corridors. The interior, though dimly lit, spoke of a bygone era. Dusty chandeliers dangled precariously from the ceiling, casting grotesque shadows on the cracked walls. Faded portraits lined the hall, their subjects seeming to watch Emily's every move with hollow, judging eyes. She could almost hear the distant echoes of laughter and music, remnants of the mansion's opulent past. As Emily wandered deeper into the darkness, she began to sense an inexplicable presence, as though the very walls were whispering secrets in a language she couldn't quite comprehend. Her flashlight flickered, casting fleeting glimpses of things that shouldn't be there, figures that seemed to vanish upon closer inspection, faces contorted in silent screams. In the heart of the mansion, she discovered a grand ballroom, its once polished floor now covered in a thick layer of dust. In the center of the room stood an old, out-of-tune piano, its keys yellowed with age. Emily felt a sudden, irresistible urge to touch the instrument, her fingers trembling as they grazed the keys. As they did, a haunting melody erupted, filling the air with a chilling, dissonant sound that seemed to seep into her very bones. Panicked, Emily tried to retreat, but the mansion seemed to have a mind of its own. Doors that were once open slammed shut, trapping her in a labyrinth of despair. The whispered voices grew louder, more insistent, as if urging her to uncover the mansion's dark secret. Desperate and disoriented, Emily stumbled into a small study, its walls lined with dusty books and forgotten memories. On a desk lay a tattered journal, its pages yellowed and frayed. Driven by an inexplicable compulsion, she opened it, her eyes scanning the faded handwriting. The journal belonged to the mansion's last resident, a young woman named Isabella, who spoke of a tragic love, of betrayal and despair so profound that it bound her spirit to the very walls of the mansion. As Emily read on, she felt a deep sense of connection with Isabella, as though their souls were intertwined across time. The whispers grew coherent, forming words that echoed in her mind, calling out for release, for peace. Emily realized that Isabella's spirit was trapped, a victim of unfulfilled longing and eternal sorrow. Moved by empathy, Emily made her way back to the grand ballroom. She approached the piano once more, her heart filled with resolve. She began to play, her fingers finding the melody that Isabella had never finished. The notes flowed, a haunting yet beautiful symphony that told a story of love, loss, and redemption. As the final note lingered in the air, the oppressive atmosphere lifted, and a serene silence enveloped the mansion. Emily felt a gentle breeze, like a sigh of relief, as the weight of centuries seemed to lift from the old walls. With newfound clarity, she understood that Isabella's spirit was finally free. The mansion, once a prison, was now a sanctuary, its haunted past laid to rest. As Emily stepped out into the cool night, the stars above shone brighter, illuminating her path home. She left the mansion behind, a place no longer of fear but of peace, its secrets revealed and its story told. In the quiet of Eldridge Hollow, the wind whispered a new tale, one of courage and compassion. For Emily's journey had not only freed a spirit, but also bridged the chasm between past and present, reminding us all that even in the darkest places, light can always find a way.